Celsius, essential energy.
Two in a row. One in Bend, Oregon in 2015, now in Lake Placid. Will the table? Yep, up on our feet now. Here's some vice temperature.
All right, 10 heat, 2 and ready.
Riders ready. Attention.
Yeah, opening seat.
Welcome to the 2024 USCSA National Championships, powered by Celsius. Casey Ditzel alongside three-time national champion John Henry Palushik. And John, a tough course ahead, vastly, rapidly changing conditions here, and it's going to be a tough contest for all of the skiers on course.
Thank you for having me, Casey. And yeah, the course was icy and firm this morning, and there was a 1 hour race delay to try and let those conditions soften up. It's about 52 degrees outside. We have pretty granular snow conditions, high humidity, and as we start skiing throughout the day, it's really going to start softening up, and we're really going to be skiing in those mashed potato conditions.
When we got here this morning, it was rock hard ice. Now the wind has started to pick up. Rain expected to be incoming. Right now, the women's race just getting underway. Already a couple of skiers on course. Dulcie Tangway, the number 2 bib, got us started after the 1 bib scratch. Katie Milligan, Susong, the 3, and just heading off right now. Number 4, Annika Shawn.
Annika Shawn comes from Cornell University, and this is her first national championship race.
Let's take a look at some players and skiers to keep an eye on here throughout today's race. And John, first on the women's side, a few that you think could be contending for the 7.5K championship.
Well, a lot of our fast racers are going to go out early, trying to get those fast conditions before the snow slows down. I think that we got a couple to look out for. We have Lily coming out from St. Olaf's College, Annie Miller from the University of Wyoming, as well as Dulcie Tangway from Paul Smith's College. I think all three of these girls are ones to watch today, although this is a super deep field, and anyone within the top 15, top 20 has an equal chance of taking it home today.
30-second interval starts now on course. Number 6, Leah Mowry from Middlebury. Talented in mountain unicycling, something that I would certainly want to see.
Yeah, and number 7, next on the line is Annie Miller from University of Wyoming, one of our skiers to watch. She's originally from Minnesota, and she has plans to apply for optometry school and become your family-friendly neighborhood optometrist in the next couple of years.
Miller on course now, and we'll be closely watching number 7 stat lines. We have a couple of trackers out on the course to keep you updated as the day goes on. 7.5K, 2 loops of a
3.75 kilometer race. That's right, Casey. This is going to be a difficult course to get through, but we're working with top-of-the-line collegiate athletes. This is Lake Placid has put together a world-class level course. This is FIS homologated level course. That means it's challenging for even those that are professionals in the sport and in the World Cup.
Clarkson University's first skier, Lily Magnus, ripping through the stadium and quickly up under the bridge. John, you've been a part of plenty of these national championships, a 3-time national champion yourself, and a lot of the skiers that we've talked to who have also skied worldwide, and some have said this is one of the hardest courses they've competed across the world.
It's definitely one of the hardest that I've competed on, and that's why I've heard that those Europeans, they just can't handle New York level skiing. That's all I got to say. Out on course now is Lauren Lackman from Colorado Mesa University, as Lily Hubanks from St. Olaf College. She's another one of those heavy hitters. She had a great year at Mammoth last year in Mammoth, California. I believe she was on the podium almost every single day, and I would expect some quick skiing from her on course today.
Sadie Holmes is next, the number 11 bid from the University of Vermont, out of Charlotte, Vermont. Fun fact, she can do a headstand. Hopefully not doing any headstands out on the course today. All of these skiers are going to be trying to avoid the fate that you and I both had the last couple of days, John.
Yeah, I'd say that we're both relatively experienced skiers, but this course definitely got the better of us yesterday and almost today, so hopefully these skiers won't be doing headstands and will be staying on their feet.
One of your triac poles was a casualty of a big collision at that 180 turn. We'll see some of these skiers get to probably in about, I'd say, 3 to 5 minutes from now.
Absolutely. This course has some ripping downhills that turns all that speed right into the A climb, and if you're not on your toes, it'll chew you up and spit you right out.
Kaya Hilgendorf Roost from the University of Minnesota, a big-time Boss Hog Productions fan and plans to be the next Boss Hog after her collegiate career finishes.
I can tell you, Boss Hog is a great guy, and I'm sure that if you go find him after awards tonight, he'll give you the rundown on how to make it to where he is today. Reagan Hansen, bib number 13 from the United States Air Force Academy, coming from Minnesota, is heading to MIT after this to study hypersonics. Great job, and we thank you for your service.
Next up, Ayla Bodock Turner. Turner from the University of Maine at Farmington plans to travel to Scotland.
That's very nice. Scotland's definitely on top of my travel list. You ever been there, Casey?
I can't say that I have. Never even been to Europe. Just a local New York skier.
Hey, no place better to ski. Number 15 next, Sierra Zoe Bennett Mackner from the United States Military Academy out of Steamboat, Colorado. She says that her favorite USCSA memory was the Valentine's Day race. For all you West Coasters out there, when the East Coast race on Valentine's Day, we get dressed up, we have a three-legged race, and we're all about racing hard but also having fun. Maybe we can learn a thing or two.
I was a one and done in the three-legged race, quickly knocked out in the first round after a wipeout that ruined my championship hopes there. And that was probably the one chance I had, tied up with multiple-time national champion Megan Green. Thought my smart pick of speed was going to be helpful, and unfortunately my big frame slowed us down pretty quick.
Absolutely. I don't know about that, Casey. But number 16, Jackie Wells, Cornell University. She's a junior there, originally from Massachusetts, and she loves racing in the Northeast. And what can I say? I do too. I've skied out west, I've skied in Europe, and the Northeast is where it's at.
Skiers starting to get to the top of the B climb right now, as Maddie Rosenberg has already passed Annika Shawn and is starting to reach the top, where she'll begin her descent downhill. And every time on this course, it seems like you hit the top of somewhere, you're going right back up pretty quickly, in my opinion there, John.
Absolutely. This course gives you no rest. This course will definitely showcase who has been training and who's been maybe taking a couple too many rest days. It's there's no rest, there's no recovery. The moment you get up top of a hill, you're into a technical descent where you have to keep working, you got to stay on your feet, and then you're immediately back into another monstrous climb, an arduous course today that they have to conquer.
Cora Trice ripping it through the stadium in her first nationals. Congratulations to the freshman from New Hampshire.
Andy Miller now making her way up one of the major climbs on course. She's past bib number 6, Liam Mowry. Both girls having a great effort out there today on their first lap of the course.
And we'll start to see some racers returning towards the stadium on the way back, as well as joining those heading out. And John, for me, I always like to go first, no matter the conditions. Today, it's certainly the top seeds that want to be out there early with the way this course is going to be deteriorating.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit funny than a normal Nordic race strategy. Often these teams almost bluff each other with their top guys, trying to see who's gonna elect to go out first, who's gonna want to be the top seed, because normally they want to be behind someone so they can get splits from their coaches, split from their teammates, and be able to catch up. We call it the rabbit and the fox. A lot of people like to be that fox, like to be that chaser, but now when they're battling the conditions like this and trying to get the fast snow, they're going to go out. Everyone is just raging to get out there quickly.
For me, I always like to be out there first, and when you catch the turnaround here, the first skiers still have some fresh racers coming out, so girls like Tangway and Susong that went out earlier are going to have fresh legs to try to chase down when they get out onto the course as well.
Absolutely. Maddie Payne from the University of Mon is on course now, heading underneath the bridge. She's originally from Vermont, and she studies animal science. But all I can say is that the girls are looking like animals out there conquering the course.
Heading out to the course now, Darby O'Neill from the United States Military Academy out of Apple Valley, Minnesota. Big ski hub out there.
She's planning to go to flight school after this, so she's in the Army, but looks like she's going to be flying airplanes.
Margaret Niskanen next is the Air Force chasing out the Military Academy and future flight school attendee.
Casey Niskanen is a staple name on the World Cup scene. Ivo Niskanen and all the Niskanens on the World Cup are excellent classic skiers, so I'm sure that we'll see Niskanen on our 15K Classic Day up at the top.
And we'll see if Niskanen can fly in that blue Air Force suit. Following her out, Sylvia Meza from Wisconsin-Madison in physical therapy school. And a lot of smart cookies out there on the course, John. Much more academically inclined than I certainly was.
Yeah, definitely more than I always considered myself a skier before an athlete, but I think a lot of these students puts the student in student athlete. On course now is Sylvia Mesna, and up next is Amelia Cam McGruger from St. Olaf College. She's an Alaskan native, and she looks forward to owning a Coast Guard Costco card. Dream big, Amelia, and she also wants to be a professional Spam taster. And I can say Spam is an underrated snack. People give it a lot of beef. People give it a lot of hate. But I think that when you fry it up and eat it with some eggs, eat it with some rice, she's onto something.
Well, that Costco card very important for buying in bulk. So she'll have opportunity to have plenty of Spam when she's a retired skier and a proud Costco card holder.
Up next is sophomore Hadley Jensen from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. She's a Rochester, Minnesota native, and she'd like to ski with Johannes Hosloff Klabo, Jesse Diggins, and Frida Carlson, and wouldn't we all?
A lot of Rochester natives, but most of them Rochester, New York on the eastern side. There's a Rochester, Minnesota. Skiers starting to come back into the stadium that have already completed their first of 2 laps.
That's right, Casey. We're going to see them streaming down this downhill underneath the bridge. Then they're going to be doing a lap around the stadium underneath the USCSA banner. They're going to start catching fresh skiers, fresh starters for their second lap. And then the second time they come in, they're just going to sprint to the line.
It's a very interesting dynamic when you come cooking down this hill into the stadium and then immediately get halted by kind of the puddly snow over to our left here. And you got to be very careful to stay on your feet there.
Absolutely. The sunspots are going to be killer. You're going to have to know where those are. Having skied the course before the event is going to play a large role in knowing where to ski, knowing where to hit the faster snow, and to not accidentally take a digger.
Maddie Rosenberg hot into the stadium and navigating those wet sections well.
While Skylar Francis from Clarkson University, you're an alumnus of there, is originally from Vermont, and the ski coach over there, Torin, you skied under Torin. What can you tell me about him?
I did. Torin La Liberté, a up-and-coming coach in the USCSA, and took over the program right before I got there and has certainly done a great job. The men's team from the years before to where they've been now, very rapid improvement. We'll see them in the next race. And the girls team, a culture of national champions, and Lily Magnus trying to lead that core. We'll see her coming through the stadium shortly.
Absolutely. Hannah Kreider is on course, a senior at Western Colorado University. Alaskan native, and her claim to fame is that she can knit. One day she'll make a great grandmother.
I could use a scarf, but not this week because the weather has been unflappable, John.
No way. Too hot for me. I started in a jacket and a long sleeve tech shirt. I bought new Swix gear just for this week, and I can't wear any of it because I'm sweating.
Might need a rain jacket if any of this so-called rain comes in. We were blessed with some sunny skies this morning. Didn't have to deal with any wet weather, and that would certainly be the end of my opportunity to go on the course. I'm not as brave as you are, John, to be out there in the elements.
That's definitely going to be an advantage this week for some of those East Coast skiers that are used to the foul weather, used for the slushy, clistery conditions. West Coast skiers, their champion championships come out of high altitude training, high altitude racing, having the lungs of a whale. But when it comes to yucky conditions such as today, the East Coast is experienced.
John, you've had the opportunity to ski on both sides, and when the championship goes west, it's a big advantage there with the elevation. But out here on the east, a big opportunity for these eastern skiers to make a name for their schools. The difference between the conditions, you talked about it there, but how different is it actually being a skier?
I think that if you're doing the right training and you're doing your due diligence, then at the end of the day, the fastest skier is going to win no matter where you are in the world. But it definitely plays a role. Those West Coast skiers, they're coming down. There's a lot of oxygen in this air, and their legs are going to be blowing up. They're going to be building lactic acid, and that's not something that they're used to. So I hope they've been doing their speeds.
Headed up next on course number 34, that is Samantha Wineland of the United States Air Force Academy.
Her favorite memory was last year in Mammoth when they got snowed in. I remember I was there, and it was like 10, 12, 15, 20 feet, and I don't know if that's an exaggeration, so it was a very unique experience.
Digging yourselves out of the snow and almost got trapped in there. Had to adjust the schedule last year. Fortunately, none of that. It's the complete opposite. So for those skiers who got their start last year, coming here to greener pastures, quite literally, John.
Absolutely. For those that complained last year about the snow, I hope you're happy because there's not much here. However, I would like to thank Lake Placid and the Lake Placid volunteers for doing such a great job in making man-made snow and maintaining these conditions for this week of racing.
For those at home, remember that you can watch all of the USCSA tournaments going on. The Alpine and Snowboard Championships also well underway. Catch those streaming on the USCSA website right along here with John and myself.
All right. Now on course is bib number 36. That's Ava Roth from St. Olaf College. St. Olaf has a dominant women's team. They've won year after year. They're defending national champions, and it's seeming like they have some great and strong skiers today, so I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of today they're in the lead as well.
Starting to catch some splits out there, and as expected, it's Lily Hughbanks from St. Olaf's leading the crowd.
Followed by Dulcie Tangaway from Paul Smith College and Annie Miller from the University of Wyoming. That's our current split podium. Quickly followed by University of Wisconsin, Western Colorado University, Middlebury College, and Cornell University. That's our top 7 as of now, but there's still a lot of racing out there. You could be in the lead up to 7K, but if you don't have it in the tank to make it to the finish line, it could be game over.
Now for these racers going out late here, John, what's the strategy you have to adjust? You got a beat-up course, and especially on the men's side, it's going to get real choppy out there. But how do you attack if you want to be one of those national champions when you're late in the field?
Absolutely. Like we see number 38, Erwin from Western Colorado University. She has a very quick tempo. When it gets slushy like this, you can't be relying on your muscles and your power. You just got to have a quick tempo. You got to get up. You got to get down. You got to be quick on your feet, and you just got to be able to navigate this slush without having to waste your power by just having it go into the mush.
Quick on your feet, something I was never known too well for, and I'm sure Coach Torin can attest to that. Fortunately, that's why I'm sitting in the booth up here and not one of these talented racers out on course. Ripping through the stadium and now back out on their second laps here. We see Hilgendorf Roost and Bodock Turner back on lap 2, so they have 1 to go in their 7.5K skate.
Yeah, they'll be chasing down Julia Lukes from Colorado State University. A lot of times in Nordic we call that catching a ride, so they're going to be trying to catch a ride with these early starters and keep the momentum going as they go after their second lap.
That was always my strategy, and that's how I've been this week, catching a ride to the venue with you. Yeah. Pleasure to be alongside the legend of the USCSA.
Madison Larder from Cornell University is on campus. She's a computer science major, but we all knew that those Cornell people were smart anyways. We didn't need to know that.
Savannah Krull getting out and underway. University of Minnesota Twin Cities out of Maple Grove, Minnesota.
She loves Disney music and hopes to one day meet the Disney conductor and teach music. Big music girl. Hope you like our choices.
John and I are better at conducting comedy than music, but
No, we are not. We are
strictly business.
correct. Out on course now, bib number 42, Reagan Jolly from Clarkson University. She's a civil engineering major. Clarkson, a big engineering school. Most of those teams are smart cookies, all doing civil, mechanical, and any other kind of engineering that I don't even know exists.
That couldn't have been me, John.
Bib number 43, about to get on course. That's Tova Brickley from the University of Vermont. Tova wants to meet Brad Pitt, but then steal his sunglasses. And all I got to say, Tova, is that's not very nice. Stealing is evil.
Brad Pitt, one good-looking dude.
Absolutely.
Can't blame her for trying to meet him.
Bib 16, Jackie Wells, Cornell University, out on her second lap as she goes underneath the bridge.
Getting a look at the top of the B climb. No one getting there yet.
Bib number 44, that's Kesa Bozic from Paul Smith College. She's originally from Minnesota and is really good at drawing stars.
Sierra Zoe Bennett Mankey catching up and catching a ride. Here's at the top of the A climb. A couple of skiers duking it out in their second laps. And at the top of the climb are Rosenberg and Miller.
Yeah, Miller was singing. I was on the podium, the virtual podium, going into her second lap. And this last climb is the last time that she is able to make up time in this race. So she's got to give it all she's got on this hill and then maintain all the speed as she brings it down to the stadium.
Miller's already picked up a minute, catching quickly as she tries to make that bid at a national championship. Day one in Lake Placid of the USCSA National Championships here. Nordic skiing, and could not be more excited for the upcoming week.
Bib number 46 now on course. Andy Miller's teammate, that is Christina Andrews, on course. She's going to be a teacher one day, but for now she's racing at a national championship.
Next up is Sadie Williams. Williams out of Clarkson University. With the atmosphere out here today, John, it's basically like surfing, and we are in the USA, so a fitting backtrack.
Absolutely. I hope you brought your surfboard because it's wet out there. Maybe even your swim trunks.
My boots took a toll on day one and still have not dried out. I'm going to be wringing those things out 2 years from now with the slushy atmosphere out on course.
Absolutely. We took ski around campus, and I immediately had to go to High Peak Cyclery, the local ski shop in town, and bought some boot dryers. Didn't really matter what the price was. I was paying it because I didn't want wet feet today.
Cora Trice cruising into lap number 2 and closing quickly behind her. Maggie Payne from the University of Vermont closing in some time. Yeah, my shower on day one here consisted of my nice wipeout there on the descent into the stadium. That's all I needed. I was
all you needed
dripping wet after.
All you needed was some soap. Bib 49 heading out on course. That's Keegan McLaughlin from Middlebury College. Middlebury College wasn't present at these nationals a couple years ago, but they've put together a really strong presence. They have a big team, and they've been really been making themselves known on the East Coast.
Top of the A climb here it's Wineland getting passed by Elsa Mowers. Mowers from Middlebury cruising up that B climb and now into the descent.
Ren Hyberson now on course from the University of Wyoming. I believe that she is one of their freshman skiers. I could be wrong, but I believe that's true. Wyoming has a pretty deep field this year. As you can see, some pretty good skiers starting this late into the field.
Skiers starting to come into the final chute and finishing their days here already.
Yeah, you'll see that these athletes are absolutely exhausting themselves as they sprint to the line. You're going to cross. It's very common in New York skiing to see them collapse. Our first start of the day, bib number 2, Dulcie Tanguay. She was leading after the first lap of the race and is definitely one of the favorites, has just finished. She's from Paul Smith College and originally from Fort Kent, Maine. Practically Canada, but we consider it Maine. And
congratulations to Dulcie on being the week's first finisher.
with many, many more to go.
Looking to go pro in the biathlon after finishing this season. Out on course now, number 52, that's Molly Heinzelman from Cornell University.
Casey, did you know that Cornell University actually leads the world in apple research?
I did not.
Uh,
Is that technology or farming equipment?
All the above. They do Apple genetics, Apple research, Apple technology. I think they're just all things Apple. I don't know if she studies apples, but I'm sure she eats them at least once in her life.
Sounds juicy and delicious. Lake Placid here, the home of miracles and well known for the 1980 Olympics, but what many don't know, it hosted a second Olympics and the most important, the third ever Winter Olympic Games, John, 1932.
That's right. That's early on. No one really remembers the 1932 Olympics, but that's originally what put Lake Placid on the map. I say miracle, schmiracle. The 32 Olympics are where it's at. Casey, was cross-country skiing part of that Olympics?
It was. It was one of just 7 sports that were among the Olympics, and it was the first Winter Olympics to include women's sports as well, as women competed in speed skating. And how about this one? We don't see it in the Winter Olympics anymore. Dog sledding was the top event.
Cool. Thankfully, we've come a long way, and women are now competing in almost all the Olympic sports. This is Sammy Vauthier coming up the A climb, bib number 17 from University of Wyoming. She's an aggressive skier. She's been racing at not just in the college level, but in the national competitions, and looks like she's coming in for a strong finish.
Coming through, headed on to lap number 2 now. Jessie Church from Paul Smith's. 1 down, 1 to go for her, and she'll be joined quickly out of the gates here by the 56 bib Emma Reinke.
Yeah, that was a fast start. I would expect if you're out there spectating, watch her race because that was a very quick start. She seems to be a strong skier. She's got the tempo down. She'd be one to watch out on this course and could make for some upsets later in the race.
Katie Milligan Susong across the finish line, and the second finisher here in today's 7.5K freestyle interval start.
Bib number 57, Helia Personas from St. Olaf College is out on course. Now coming into the finish, we have a dogfight. We have bib number 7, Annie Miller, quickly followed by bib number 10, Lily Eubanks. They're both pushing it into the line. Annie over the line, Lily now over the line. That was a strong finish from both athletes. Quickly following them, it looks to be bib number 5. That's Maddie Rosenberg from Western Colorado University.
Eubanks ahead of steam there and picked up 5 spots. And we'll wait to see the final tallies here as she tries to chase down Tangway, the first finisher.
Yeah, they're going to start coming in hot as we're going to start seeing more and more girls crossing the line. They're going to be, even though this is an interval or individual race, they're going to start grouping up and working together or against each other out on course, and we're going to start seeing a lot of sprints to the line.
Colorado State's Bella Jurowicz out on course. Coming to the top of the A climb here is Sierra Zoe Bennett Mankey, closing down and catching a ride from Christina Andrews of Wyoming.
Yeah, the United States Military Academy seems to have a great showing. They're not always here at our national championships, but they're here in numbers today, so hopefully we'll see them on the podium. Out on course now is bib number 60. That is Claire Janus from Clarkson University, putting in a good effort. She now has 7.4 kilometers to go now that she's cleared the first 100 meters of the race.
Next up, Grace Airholtz out of the University of Wyoming. And John, that's one of your alma maters. Spent a lot of time out on the West Coast. What's it like going to school in Wyoming?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't say enough about the University of Wyoming program. Christy Boggs and Rachel Watson run that program, also now assisted by Andrew Siegel, one of my former Nemesis and teammates and best friends. They run a great program over there. They have a lot of skiers here. They've always been strong. I think they may be one of the most successful teams in USCSA history, so maybe we'll see their women's team on top of the podium at the end of the day.
Andrew Skiegel has it in the name, as it was destined to be. You don't often see Nemesis and best friend in the same context. That might have to be the word of the day there by John Henry Palushek. His Nemesis, Andrew Skiegel, and some of these skiers will be making Nemesis out there today, fighting for that top spot.
Absolutely. They are a lot of ski racing can be summed up by best friends off the race course and bitter enemies on it, because these athletes all have just that competitive atmosphere, that competitive drive. As you can see, bib number 9 here coming across the line. That is Laura Lackman. That competitive drive to come all across the line. Each and every single one of these athletes embodies that fully, and I think that's clear to see today.
Clarkson Sadie Williams to the top of the B climb. Now on course is Mylin Lee from Wyoming.
Yeah, the University of Wyoming partners with the Shanghai University of Sport. Every year they bring over a couple of Shanghai students and helps introduce and expand the great sport of cross-country skiing.
Following her out will be Megan Flack out of Cornell, and joining her coming around for her second lap will be Middlebury College's Aiden Burns.
Yeah, maybe they'll be able to work together and really push each other as they work their ways up the climb. You're going to start seeing some tired athletes coming in here because as I said earlier, as the conditions get on later in the day, it's just going to start getting wetter, it's going to start getting slower, and they're just going to start fighting the snow. As bib number 14, Ayla Bodrich Turner from the University of Maine, Farmington, that team is led by famous, notorious Buzz, their coach Buzz. Great program he runs out there.
3 of the 4 remaining skiers to head out are out of the University of Wyoming. Luki Chen out and going. She'll be followed by Grace Chandler. The 2 left, Isabella Brown and Shayla Babbitts. That is it for the starters, as the majority of the field out on the course, and we'll turn it over to the finishers here as the results start coming in and the split times.
Right now we have bib number 4, it looked like, coming in. Annika Schoen from Cornell University putting in a great effort. Following her is a Clarkson University athlete. That seems to be bib number 8. That is Lily Magnus, originally out of Holderness, New Hampshire. Great program out of there, Holderness.
Lily Magnus said if she could interview anybody, it would be me, to ask if I'm ever going to follow up on my offer to bike a century with her. And hopefully this week is the motivation. This is the start of my training here, John. You dragged me around for 20K yesterday, and can't say that I don't want more.
Good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Casey. The snow's melting quickly, so I'm afraid that we're not going to have much skiing after this. So all the athletes here and the coaches and the wax techs and the commentators and the volunteers are going to be juicing out as much ski time as they can on this ribbon.
Shayla Babbitts ripping it onto the course, and everybody has got their start on the women's side. The men's race will start in about 15 more minutes.
That seems to be bib number 34, Samantha Wineland, a junior at the United States Air Force Academy, skiing under the bridge now, heading out for her second lap. She is originally from Seattle, Washington, home of Starbucks coffee, right?
Something like that.
And Pike's Fish Market. Never been there.
Got a couple of loyal Starbucks followers in the household and become addicted to it.
Yeah, caffeine, hell of a drug. Coming to the finish line seems to be a Cornell skier. That is bib number 16, Jackie Wells. She's originally from Massachusetts and was the one that loved Northeast skiing. I wonder if she still loves it at the end of the race.
And we can see the conditions starting to slow down here, John. For the men's race coming up, what does that mean for them?
Just means that it's an optimistic race. If you're an optimist and you're excited to be here and you're excited to race and you're excited to prove yourself, then you're gonna have a good day. If you are coming into the race and you're not excited to be here and you're the conditions are a little mushy, they're a little wet, they're a little slow, guarantee you're not gonna win.
That's the East Coast benefit here. Now, with the first field here tearing it up, and we're seeing a lot of quick skiers, but also with the course starting to slow down here for the men, can it get much worse, and does it still have that same impact of being the first skier out?
I think being the first skier out will definitely still have an advantage. Not as much as the women here in the women's race, but I think that as our cloud coverage maintains, that the course will start to steady out and kind of stay the same. It's just how much these athletes choose to speed check on the downhills and maybe build up some little Nordic moguls that later athletes would have to contend with. Bib number 25 crosses the line. That's Amelia from St. Olaf College. She's the one that likes spam.
Spammed it up those hills.
That was a good one, Casey. As Chrisanna Andrews from University of Wyoming heads out for her second lap of the day. I will say, Casey, as both former racers, racing seems a lot easier when you're sitting inside behind a glass pavement.
Yeah, that's the truth. We can say whatever we want and pretend we're as fast as we want. You actually have the natural talented speed to win a couple of national championships. For me, I think of myself as a national champion here.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun.
Number 140 in the field, but number 1 in John's heart.
Number 59 from Colorado State University, making it up their hill. That is Bella Jurowitz. I remember I actually donated to Colorado State University. Still waiting on my race suit.
Those are some beautiful suits as well. The green and gold, two of my favorite colors.
Yeah, although as a University of Wyoming alumni, not my favorite team out there, unbiasedly. As Colorado State University and the University of Wyoming are actually rivals.
For those who don't know John Henry Palushik, the guy has skied just about everywhere he possibly could in the USCSA, a Castleton 4-year undergrad and multiple-time national champion there. Decided he wanted to take his talents west out to Wyoming for a year and then coached for both Wyoming and Western last year.
What can I say, Casey? I wanted to be a cowboy.
Yeehaw!
Coming into the finish line now is Air Force Cadet. That seems to be bib number 13, who is Reagan Hansen, finishing strong.
Nice job out there, Reagan. Congratulations on the accomplishment of making it through the race. Chasing her down quickly, Maggie Payne putting up a good time here, the 21 bib.
From the University of Vermont, a strong finish. Let's go. Something that we forgot to mention earlier is the possibility of equipment casualties. We talked about our own plights, but as you'll notice, if you're spectating the race, you're going to see coaches, assistant coaches, wax techs, parents, brothers, sisters, cousins, uncles, fiancés, ex-fiancés, estranged cousins, the chef you knew once last week at a bakery that smiled at you and you gave him a $3 tip hoping that they'd leave you your phone number, but they never did, are going to be out there to hand out poles and equipment because in this mushy snow, athletes are it's not impossible for them to break a pole, and being able to get a fresh one it could be vital to this race.
5 minutes to the start of the men's 7.5K class, 7.5K skate race, as the girls are tearing it up and starting to come to a close. Large group finishing up in the corral there, and the men will have their chance to go. 5 minutes to the start for those listening through the speakers live outside.
If you're an early starter, you definitely want to be making your ways to the start corral, getting your timing chip. Timing today provided by Underdog Timing Bob Underwood. A great timing service. If you ever skied in the Northeast, especially in New York, you've definitely been timed by him. So thank you, Bob, for the excellent race services and the excellent timing that he's providing today. So if you're an early starter for the men's race, do not be late because your time starts when it's supposed to start. Don't make Bob's life harder than it needs to be.
Might have to have a stern talking to Bob because plenty of times through my Nordic career, my name was next to a number that was less than pleasing to me.
I think you got to have that conversation with the mirror, Casey.
We'll keep working someday. Avery Sullivan across the line, and as well as Colorado State University's Michaela Scheidt.
It's a University of Wyoming skier heading up the A climb. That's bib number 69. That is Shayla Baptist making her way, using a nice V1 left technique to crest the hill.
That was my strategy all day yesterday while you were cooking two-handed up.
We have preliminary results, unofficial results for the women's 7.5K freestyle start. Currently sitting in first with a time of 23:58 is Lily Hughbanks from St. Olaf College. Sitting in second is Dulcie Tanguay from Paul Smith College, 8 seconds back, followed by Amelia Cam McCruger of St. Olaf's College with 32 seconds back, followed by two University of Wyoming skiers, Annie Miller and Sammy Vauthier in 4th and 5th respectively, followed out by Katie Milligan Susong of University of Wisconsin-Madison. 7th place, Hadley Jensen, University of Minnesota Twin Cities. 8th place, Ayla Bodchast-Turner, University of Maine at Farmington. And 9th place, Maddie Rosenberg, Western Colorado University. And 10th place, Lauren Lackman, Colorado Mesa University. That is our unofficial top 10 for now. Stay tuned for official results.
Plenty still to come and plenty still out there. The men's race starting to line up as they're closing in on a start time coming up.
Yeah, like we said, that top 10 is a good standing for now, but there are plenty of strong women that are still out there, and if you're in that top 10, I'd be proud of your result, but stay on your toes because there's still a few more racers to make their way across the line.
University of Wyoming will kick it off. It's Kai Taylor, the first on the line, and a former teammate of yours there, John.
That's right, a former teammate of mine, Kai Taylor. He's an Alaskan native. He's a chemical engineering major. He worked all summer on the oil rigs, and he's here to prove himself today. 2 years ago when we were in Lake Placid, he had a little bit of the sniffles and some illness, and he's here to showcase that those results were not who he is, and he's going for the podium. I know that.
A long list of skiers on the men's side that have been topped down by John Henry and are probably very glad to hear your voice over the speakers and not behind them in line.
Oh, those days are behind me, Casey. I'm sure if I towed the line, I'd be happy for a top 10 result, if that. So these kids are in a whole nother world. They've been training hard, and I haven't. I've been sitting on the couch.
All kinds of disciplines that we'll see. Today it's the skate race, the 7.5K. Tomorrow a classic sprint race. Then a day of rest before a 15K classic. And the most fun of the events, the relay race on Saturday. But across these disciplines, John, how do you prepare for each of them as you come into this week? To be a national champion, you got to perform well 4 straight days.
Absolutely. To go for that overall title, you can't be good at just one. You can't just win the skate day and walk it in on the classic day. These points are cumulative. They go day to day, especially in the team scoring. So you have to be consistent. You have to be patient. You can't favor any of the races. You just have to come to the start line every day, just ready to give it your all, ready to put in the pain, and just be consistent every single day.
Strong effort up the B climb there as
I believe that's
Chrisanna Andrews, from the University of Wyoming. She'll start her descent into the stadium from the top there.
Bib number 23, Margaret Niskanen from the United States Air Force Academy, done with her skate day today as Kai Taylor from the University of Wyoming leads the men's race as he is the first starter out on course.
Taylor out there already. Next up is Wesley Sumner from St. Olaf.
He's going to be chasing down Kai. There's only 30 seconds in between these racers, so it's going to be going quick. A lot of these racers are going to be trying to catch a ride, trying to get that draft, trying to pull in the people that are around them, because once you catch someone, you know you've got them by 30 seconds. But on the flip side, if someone catches you, that means they've got you by 30 seconds.
John, on the men's side, who are you keeping an eye on for potential national champions out of this group?
I would definitely keep my eye on Aiden Ripp out of Paul Smith's College. He has won this 7.5K race 2 years in a row. That is a very impressive feat. He is part of the US Nordic combined squad. So he ski jumps. If you're familiar with the Lake Placid area, those giant, monstrous, scary jumps that are just down the road, he goes off of those and then skate skis. So I think this is his favorite discipline. He's good at them all, but I think this is his favorite one. So I would, if I had to race him again, I'd be shaking in my boots. That's for sure. Some other heavy hitters from the men's field was Connor Nielsen. He won the men's Western Division this year, and as well as Ivar Skardstes, a Norwegian out of Colorado Mesa University. I would say that those are 3 heavy hitters for today.
Clarkson University's Connor Roberts hitting the course and getting Clarkson's men's campaign underway. Roberts, the number 2 finisher in the overall last year, with hopes of extending this year.
Absolutely. Connor is also a force to be reckoned with. This men's field, I listed 3 athletes, but this men's field is super deep, as that 105, that's Aiden Ripp, is out on campus ripping the course. I'm sure he's never heard that pun before, but Connor Roberts is the definition of you put in the hours, you put in the training, and you will find yourself at the top of the results sheet. He is definitely one that to watch out for on course.
Connor Preston from University of Minnesota Twin Cities next to go, and sporting the maroon and gold. Well,
yeah, a relatively new team to the USCSA. They're coming in full force. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Once the Midwest starts, once we let the Midwest on the podium, they're not stepping down. So watch out for those Minnesota and Wisconsin teams.
Western Colorado's Connor Nielsen, and one of the favorites in today's race next up to go.
That's right. This is our Western Conference overall winner. So he's coming in. He's a Midwest native. Like I said, Midwest skiers, they're fast. He's out on course with a strong V2 and trying to show us what he's got.
I certainly don't got any of that. I tried my best ripping into the chute here, and plenty of the athletes, probably all of them that we've seen go through, have done it in less time than it took me.
Give yourself a little bit more credit than that, Casey. I watched you ski. You're pretty good. But after Connor Nielsen is Ben Martin from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, followed by Antonio Menino, Vermont State University, better known as Castleton University.
This is a guy I got my eye on real hard here, Antonio Menino, my personal favorite pick.
Antonio was was definitely one of the athletes' favorites. We get little cue cards as athletes fill in questionnaires for us to talk about, and Antonio came up quite a lot. He is the end of a amazing program formerly led by Marty Marr.
How about the transition and Menino proving what passion can do here? The last guy left and the only representative of your former team in Castleton. But the program being cut fundraised the whole season, and he's now the president, the coach, and the solo representative.
And the wax tech. Menino has put in a lot of hard work to be here, and if you're out on course, give him a cheer, because I don't think that there's a single skier here that's as hard a worker and loves the sport and loves the racing in the USCSA as much as him, as bib number 110 from Middlebury College, Joshua Kerr, is now on campus. Strong start for Joshua.
Rylan Hodgson next to go, a big Grizzle T. Burgers fan out of Cornell University and a former competitor of mine, as Rylan rips it onto the course wearing the Cornell Reds.
Must be warm out there, because Rylan's going bib only. That's definitely a springtime, something you only see on the East Coast in the spring.
Not too much sun's out, but certainly the gun's out for Rylan Hodgson as he gets his 7.5K day underway.
Absolutely. We still have some of our female finishers coming into the line. If you're a spectator out there, make sure we, as we announced the men's starter, that we're still giving a cheer to our women's finishers, that they are putting in their heart and soul into this race course, as bib number 112 is out on course.
Reagan Jolly getting to the top of the B climb for Clarkson University, and followed quickly by Kasha Holland-Goon.
Ethan Hobbs from Colorado State University out on course. Colorado State University is another student-led program, more specifically an Ethan Hobbs-led program. He organizes one of the races in Leadville out in the west, and he puts in a lot of work to make sure that program is as strong as it is. Ethan Hobbs now on course.
Following Hobbs will be Lucas Daly from the University of Vermont.
UV Groovy. What a team.
Most of the women's side is finished. Just about 15 left, and then we'll have the unofficial results there. Reagan Jolly, the most recent to go through the final time check before the finish.
That's right. At the end of the day, make sure to check underdogtiming.com for results. Go to the hamburger bar menu and select race results. Scroll down so you'll see the USCSA National Championship held here in Lake Placid, New York.
That's
a results at the end of the day.
That's some veteran advice from a well-seasoned veteran of the USCSA, and John Henry Palushik.
That is as we watch bib number 115. That is Benjamin Bauer from the University of Minnesota Duluth from out on course. Strong skier, Duluth. I wonder if he was able to watch the World Cup out in Minneapolis and see some of our top U.S. athletes race.
Awesome scene there for the FIS out in Minnesota, and not quite as packed of a house, but the same amount of energy here in Lake Placid for the USCSA Championships. And, John, what a representation that was for USA skiing in general, to see not only the talent on the course, but also the atmosphere that the U.S. fans brought to Minnesota.
Yeah, I can only imagine what that must have felt like, but if I had to pick one of the two, I would pick Lake Placid 9 out of 10 times.
Hopefully we'll see a FIS World Cup race here someday, and certainly the difficulty is there out there on the trails. It's been compared to Lahti, Finland, which is arguably the most difficult World Cup course out there.
Graydon Walker from Western Colorado University now on course. Graydon is that type of skier that could do really well today. He's quick, he's light, and he has a fast tempo, and he's a gritty guy. I remember last year in the 15K skate, he was in so much pain, but he pushed through to a top 5 finish. So that's what's going to take to win a national championship today.
Strong finish through the chute coming in, Julia Everest.
118 now on course. That's Joey Roahan from Clarkson University, another strong skier, another guy to watch out for, another a big shot with mustache.
I'm working on growing mine out. I'm not sure that I have quite that level going. Playoff beard.
No, I think both of us should leave the facial hair to the professionals, and that's not us.
We got a great one sitting right next to us as our board producer, one of the all-time Hall of Fame mustaches.
Matt Walsh. You guys could see this, I tell you.
You'd be jealous. You
amazing mustache.
You would be jealous.
In my dreams.
I know I am. That's right.
That looks like the United States Air Force Academy, and good showing today as they're up on course. I think that's Michael Perlmutter, 120. So not many of you know this, but USCSA actually has a military cup, a separate award only given to military schools. So that's a battle between Air Force and West Point. At the end of the week, the Alpine Nordic scores will be combined, and the winner will take home the military cup trophy.
And a real hot start for bib number 120 up the initial climb. Following him out and quickly as well as Tate Myers from St. Olaf's.
Yeah, another quick start, another quick tempo V2 underneath the bridge to lead us out. seems like our Kai Taylor, University of Wyoming, our first man out on course, is now on our first man out for his second lap. Kai Taylor working hard to stand on top of that podium today.
Rylan Hodgson to the top of the B climb, up at the top of the course, and looking good with the tarp off.
122, Garrett Mahonring from Colorado Mesa University now on course. I've seen Garrett. I've skied for a couple years now, and he's really grown into a really strong skier, and I'm excited to see his results at the end of today.
Isabella Brown closing out her race as she'll come down to the stadium into the final descent.
Let's go. Finish strong. Izzy.
Thank you for joining us here at the USCSA 2024 Nationals in Lake Placid. Again, 3 disciplines going on across the town here in alpine and snowboarding also underway. You can catch those on the USCSA website, and the live streams going on with Boss Hog Productions.
That's a quick start by 124 Cole Long from the University of Wisconsin-Madison as he laps through at the same time as our Colorado Mesa University skier Ivar Scarth says. So he'll try and catch a ride into that quick tempoed pace.
Following Long out, Bennett Gambler from Intercourse, PA, majoring in BOFA?
Is that business office financial assistantship?
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Never heard of it, but
Must be a pretty smart major.
I'm sure he's good at it. Bib 56 from the women now across the line. That's Emma Reineke. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, and I apologize. University of Minnesota, Twin Cities.
Right with her is Heli Personius, and congratulations on strong finish there.
And Grace Erholtz from the University of Wyoming.
That's a good head of hair heading out onto the course now. Anders Eriksson, he's talented in unicycling and tap dancing, but he can't do them at the same time, John, so maybe something to work on there.
Yeah, man. Hopefully he worked on his skiing as well, as today is not a tap dancing competition. Who do we have on course next? It seems to be bib 127, Cyrus Burgelin from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities.
Next up, Justin Arndt from Colorado State. His favorite USCSA memory was last year where he was injured but was able to coach the team and had a lot of fun with his friends.
I think that a lot of these athletes, especially our seniors, finish up their athletic career will find the passion in coaching as he just described. If you're not quite done with the sport, you know, I'd recommend coaching, recommend sticking with it, and helping the youth of America and the youth of the world learn the great sport of cross-country skiing.
That's for all those washed-up skiers like yourself and me. Check out that mullet.
Look
ripping
at that.
up the B climb.
That's a Clarkson skier. Look at that. Is that Joey? Is that Kai? Who is that? 118.
Joey Ruhana.
I take back what I said about our producer, Matt Wallace. That guy's got him beat by a mile. .129 out on course. That is Felix Terracin from St. Olaf College as he works his way out underneath the bridge.
Girls finishers continuing to come in, and 64 and 66 up the B climb. Maylin Lee and Luki Chen.
As 51, Kesa Holangun from Colorado State University finishes strong.
Now on course, Diego Scalacci, Paul Smith's college. Paul Smith's one of the favorites out here for the team championship.
Absolutely. Paul Smith's college on the men's side cleaned things up 2 years ago when Lake Placid hosted the 2022 USCSA National Championships. Diego was part of that team. They haven't graduated much, and I would expect I have high hopes for them this week.
Kai Richter of Clarkson University ripping it up the A climb. Head of steam.
Clarkson, also a team to watch out for this week. They seem to be firing strong. They're not too far away. They're, what do you say, about an hour, 2 hours?
Not even that. Yeah, 1 hour and 15, and this one, they're not the official home course, but certainly the home stomping grounds in years like this where it's more green than white out there.
Absolutely. So but that means they have time. Clarkson University, Castleton University, Paul Smith College all have had opportunities to come back to Lake Placid and preview the course leading up to this week. So I wonder if that'll be an advantage at the end of the day.
Matthew McDonald on course from the United States Air Force Academy. He'll be chased out by the freshman Elliot Kramer out of University of Wyoming. If Elliot could ask anybody in the world a question, he wants to know from Lionel Messi, one of the best soccer stars out there, is a hot dog a sandwich? John, what do you think?
I don't know. I think if it's connected, it's not a sandwich. I'm on team anti-sandwich. He'll be chasing 110 and 111 Joshua Kerr, Middlebury College.
I'm not going to let you get away with that just now.
University.
That was a quick transition.
I think it was a quick transition.
Is it a sub then?
Yeah, I consider it. Oh, okay.
A submarine sandwich?
Oh, okay. A hoagie. I see what you're... We'll talk about this later. Hamburger's a sandwich. Hot dog? Hot dog's a taco.
Albert Hesse from Western Colorado headed out there, and it's a romantic moment in the USCSA. And if Anya Taylor-Joy is listening out there, Albert would like to know if you'll marry him.
What? A man of few words, but a man of a warm, romantic heart. Albert Hess, I believe, is our returning 15K national champion, so he's one to keep an eye out for this entire week. Albert is a tri-sport athlete. He's not just doesn't compete in cross-country skiing. He's also a great steeplechase runner as well as a mountain runner.
We'll have to keep the phone lines open if Anya Taylor-Joy is out there, and hopefully as he finishes the national championship line, we can update him with some new news that he's now engaged.
Yeah, USCSA is not a stranger to proposals. In 2020, Castleton University alpine athlete Kylie Mackey was proposed to, and she's now been happily married for 4 years.
Ripping it up the B climb out of Cornell. Anders Eriksson, the unicycling tap dancer.
What a head of hair as he powers up that hill. 137, that is AJ Hemick from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Strong start.
Cyrus Bjurlin topping off the course on lap number 1. Bjurlin looking good.
A lot of these men's going bib only. Must be hot out there, Casey.
It's certainly hot in here as we watch the competition heat up. Now on course, Alex Hydorn out of Minnesota Duluth. He'll be followed up by Parker Harris. Middlebury coming through onto the second lap. Grady Welsh looking good through the stadium. Colorado College and Justin Arndt topping off the B climb out there as well.
Looks like we have bib 47, Sadie Williams, coming into the finish line, as well as some Wyoming skiers.
Great job out there, ladies. The results will be in shortly, and congratulations on some great races out there.
Yeah, today is just day 1 of our 4-day national championship week, so today's not done, as it seems Connor Nielsen, the Western Conference winner, powers up that hill. He looks hungry. He looks hungry.
There's the mulleted man headed on to his second lap out of Clarkson as Joey hits the hill.
Next out on course is bib 141. That is Ben Anderson from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. The Twin Cities are coming out in numbers this week.
Ben Anderson following him out, University of Minnesota Twin Cities. Sharp to start here. And very clearly getting pretty soft out there as we watch some skiers hit the S-turn around before they enter back in the stadium. John, how do you make sure in some of these crazy conditions coming at full speed down a hill that you're staying on your feet? Something I couldn't do.
I would say that confidence is key. If you think you're gonna fall, you're gonna fall. If you're feeling nervous, if you're a nervous Nelly out there, if you got an upset tummy, if your ankles are feeling a little wiggly wobbly, then you're gonna take a digger. You got to keep your center mass, in a nice, good, stable position. You got to make sure maybe even have the arms out a little bit to stabilize yourself, but you gotta know your lines, just like mountain biking or alpine skiing. Alpinists don't think that cross-country skiers go that fast downhill, but take away the heel, take away the edges, and we'll see what they could do. But yeah, I'd say the real key is having confidence, knowing your line, and doing agility work throughout the year. A lot of these skiers will spend their time on roller skis in order to work on technique, work on endurance, but also work on those fine motor skills to navigate difficult terrain.
Clarkson's Noah Payne out onto the course. Hopefully all of the diggers are staying off the course and digging for gold at the finish line.
Absolutely. Due to the conditions, we're bound to have some crashes, but these are professional collegiate athletes, so they know what they're doing, and you're going to see a lot less falls out of these guys as you would out of you, me, or any recreational skier that will be out there this winter.
Air Force's Peter Marriott under the bridge and up the hill. He'll be followed out by John Lackey of the University of Vermont.
University of Vermont, always a pretty good program. That's a student-run program. They raised money throughout the summer and fall, and said they could be here this week. So more hard workers, and make sure you're giving UV Groovy some nice cheers, as it seems to be he joins Garrett Mahonig as he comes around for his second lap. Chased by bib 1, 2, 3. Philip Matthews from Paul Smith College. Matthew Doherty, the coach over at Paul Smith, is really led a strong program from rags to riches. He joined the program with nothing and has built it into a national championship team. As Kai Taylor has crossed the finish line, as well as Ivar, our Norwegian competitor. As well as that Aiden Rip as well. Our top guys are crossing the line, so stay tuned for these strong finishes from our men, and stay posted for results.
Couple of quick finishers out there. Now coming up the chute, it's a Cornell bib coming. And actually, that might be the Olafs.
I believe that's the Saints from St. Olaf
That
College.
Is. And the 102 bib as Wesley Sumner into the chute and up the finish line. Connor Roberts cooking it in right behind him.
Let's go, Connor. Finish strong. Give it what you got. 147, Zachary Johnson from Cornell University on course as he's chased down by 148, Tyler Hipshin at Western Colorado University. He's an Alaskan native and would like to interview me on how he can be fast like me. And I think it's a pretty simple answer, Tyler. Train.
Also genetics. Helps to be tall and handsome like
we
you.
currently have unofficial top 5 results for our men's 7.5K freestyle interval start. Currently, we have Aiden Rip, our defending national champion, with a time of 20:29.
44-second lead, too.
A massive lead to Ivar Skarsted's Colorado University sitting in second. Connor Roberts in third place currently, Clarkson University, followed by fourth place Kai Taylor, strong showing by Kai Taylor, University of Wyoming. And fifth place unofficially is Wesley Sumner from St. Olaf College. Stay tuned as we update those results.
Connor Roberts, listen closely on this one. He said if he could interview anybody in the whole world, it would be Casey Ditzel and John Henry Palushik, and he wants to ask the question, how's it going, boys? And we'll give you a quick answer. It's going great.
Yeah, I would say it's going great. It's hard to not have a great day here in Lake Placid, New York, home of the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympics, as 151 is now on course. That's James Baker from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He is from Middleton originally. This is his first national championship. We welcome you to the national championships and hope you're around for 3 more.
Looks like freshly across the line, Connor Nielsen from Western. Another strong, quick finisher. The men's race starting to close its way in as we haven't even got all the starters off yet.
Yeah, these boys, they want to be done quick. They want to finish quickly. That is the goal of the race, to finish quickly, and they want it. They want to be done. They want to start resting for the races later in the week. They want to start recovering, and, of course, they want to be on that podium.
Eubanks and Tangway with Con Magruder, the top 3 in the women's race right now, and looks like Eubanks will be pulling off an 8.59 second victory. We'll wait for the official results.
153 is now on course. That is Jamison Peacock, University of Wyoming. He says that I'm an inspiration, and that's very kind of you to see, but I hate to say it, Jamie, I attended the Silly Goose Convention last weekend. It was a specialty, came to Lake Placid, and I went down and I walked around and I introduced myself to all the booths and all the marketers and everyone there, and they all seem to know you. So Jameson Peacock, a regular at the Silly Goose Convention.
Coming to the top of the A-Climb 143 and looking good. Noah Payne, Clarkson University, currently making work and getting past Parker Harris.
From Colorado Mesa University. Mesa with the new suits this year, looking good. 155, a University of Vermont skier, Fergus Krigenbring is now on course, starting his 7.5K journey.
Go get him, Fergus. That's a cool name.
Very cool name. I wish I was named Fergus. 120 and 144, Air Force cadet teammates working together up the hill. Let's go, cadets. Strong finish by Clarkson University as he starts out on his lap. That was Adam Jansen. Clarkson University now on course. Only a few starters left, and then everyone will be on course. Up next, a Cornell skier, 157. Who is that, Casey?
That's Gabriel Gary of Cornell, getting set to start his day. Coming quickly up the chute as well across the finish. 114. Lucas Daly finishing his day.
Garrett Mahoning making his way up the A-climb for the last time. He's working hard, rocking the Blitz glasses, walking the backwards baseball hat. He's looking sharp out there, that's for sure.
Go Gophs.
158, that looks like a Minnesota skier.
Peter DeRuiter
out on
Twin
course.
Cities.
Quick start, a nice quick tempo V2. That's what you need today. Let's see how he can hold up for the entirety of the 7.5K today. That looks like 146, Sean Kramer working with 147, Zachary Johnson, Cornell University. Sean Kramer and Zachary working together at the top of the A-climb.
Strong finish across the line for Megan Flack of Cornell. And a good shoot the boot across the line, too.
Wyoming skier out of the start gate. That's 159, Zirun Tien.
Coming back into the stadium with 1 lap to go, Alex Hydorn from Minnesota Duluth, and looking good through that squishy section.
Yeah, she's having a strong finish, and she looks like she could really upset the results. So if you're the women who are now in your wax trailer, change your socks, feeling comfy, I'd start feeling less comfortable. She's finishing strong. .149 and 150 making up the A-climb, working together. That's Nielsen Hahn and Trey Bosworth, University of Minnesota and St. Olaf College. Out of the start gate now is 161 Reed Robinson, Cornell University. He'll be chased by his Cornell University teammate, Austin Manning, at 162.
Manning rocking the sharp pink undershirt. That's a favorite of yours there.
Absolutely. Pink, an underrated color.
Might have to recruit him to the Flamingo race team.
Absolutely. Come talk to me after the race, and we'll see if we can get you on some start lists.
AJ Mila of Western Colorado up next.
I believe AJ is the star of a band called Clister.
Might be time to cue that one up.
He's, I believe he's a...
Save it for his finish. That can be his finishing song.
Absolutely, absolutely.
A couple of Western guys ripping it up the B climb on the far side of the course right now. And leading the charge is James A. Baker, the freshman.
From Middleton. I believe Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin Badgers.
Middlebury skier coming through the lap, followed by Paul Smith going out for their second lap of the day. This 3.75K lap is grueling. Every time you hit the top of the hill, there just seems to be more. The 1980 Lake Placid was a home of the famous Ladies 5, the Ladies 5-kilometer race. It was always a test for New York and Northeast skiers, but now it's been replaced by our new and improved facilities. This is the only second time the USCSA has raced this course, and I think it's proven itself to be just as difficult, if not more difficult.
John, you look
notorious Ladies 5.
You look at some of these leading times, right around 20.5 was where Adam Ripp came in, but majority of the racers coming in around 21, 22 minutes. How does that set to your expectations coming into the day? Where would you think the times would be?
I think that is an absolutely ripper of a time. This is a hard course, and as this isn't the fastest snow out there, so I am very impressed as Graydon Walker from Western Colorado University crosses the finish line. But as I was saying, those times are absurdly fast for this level of racing and all levels of racing. To come in under the low 20s for a 7.5 kilometer of this caliber is truly remarkable.
Oliver Dolcino of Clarkson University out onto the course, and Fergus ripping it up the B climb as he gets to the descent and ripping some V2 there as well. So still got a nice boot shoot at the finish. And incoming Tate Myers from St. Olaf's.
167 in the start gate. That's Spencer Kanan in the University of Wyoming. I believe he is a senior, and he has a strong start. I know that he's hungry for some good results today, and I'll definitely be on the watch for the results to see his name.
We see a lot of these guys coming out of this opening start shoot, and it's progressively got deeper. You can noticeably see it on the cameras here as well, John, that little mushy part that you see where that darker coloring and a very wet course out there as the day heats up and the race continues on.
Absolutely. If you can see on the stadium, if you're just watching, stand on the bridge looking at the stadium, you can see those grayer areas. That's not snow, that's water. And water is not fast. So those racers are going to be avoiding those areas as much as possible because that is not conducive to winning a national championship.
I usually like to save my water skiing for the summertime behind a boat rather than out on the Nordic skis on the slopes. But
157 making his way up the hill. That is Gabriel Gary, Cornell University. And 169 out of the start gate.
Li Tian Bai, the graduate student from China.
This seems to be, is this our last, but definitely not least, junior from Paul Smith's College, originally from Saranac Lake, New York, Jacob Alberga.
And Jacob is looking forward to what's coming up next. He says, up next for him in life, student loan debt. Might want to shoot a little bigger than that, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm sure you look to be a very talented skier. Paul Smith is a great college. Maybe after teammate Aiden Rip makes it big time, have him give you a personal loan. Work on those.
A lot of pace up the B climb on lap number 2 for Alex Hydorn as he's making up some ground following Hydorn is first lapper Peter DeRuiter. Heidorn starting to close a gap there, so keep an eye on him as he'll be coming back into the stadium a couple minutes from now.
Seems that all our men's races are out for the day. Our starter Marty Marr is done with his job for the day, and we won't see him for tomorrow. Marty Marr, thank you very much for your dedication and hard work all that you've done for the USCSA. Marty Marr is a former Castleton University coach. He has 3 national championships to his name, and he won't tell you about it. He'll just walk around and tell you when to go. Great guy, Marty Marr.
Garrett Mooring done for the day in stylish glasses, a stylish finish.
Sean Kramer underneath the bridge going for his second lap of the day. He is 50% done with his race, 50% more to go. Sean Kramer, an average student researcher. He's done both qualitative and quantitative research at the University of Wyoming, and I believe he has plans to continue on towards a PhD. Not sure where that will be yet, but high hopes.
What comes after qualitative and quantitative?
I honestly don't know. We'll have to ask Sean. He's the scientist. I'm just the commentator.
Reed Robinson of Cornell University to the top of the climb, and
we've got 4 guys on this A-climb working together, fighting each other as they put in the effort. This is a big move by bib number 138. That's Alex Hedron from the University of Minnesota Duluth. He's looking to make time on that hill. He's saying, see ya later, alligator, to his competitors as he's trying to make up time over the crest of the hill.
That A-cline's where you really make your money there, John. You showed me how it's done yesterday while I was huffing and puffing for a national championship. That's where you got to really dig yourself in.
Absolutely. It's all about cresting the hill as 131 crosses the finish line. That is Kai Richard, Clarkson University. Yeah, those climbs, you got to work hard on the climbs, but you also got to make sure that you crest over them. If you get to the top and you immediately go into a tuck, there's a lot of lost speed there. The guys that'll come in with fast times, they push up and over the hill and don't start their rest since they're a little bit ways down. As 130 toes across the line.
Diego Scalacci, a fancy finish. Now we got a big list of guys coming in. 126 and 27. It's Anders Eriksson leading Cyrus Bjurlin through the finish, and the Cornell guy gets there on top. And then following them in, making up quite a bit of time, Felix Turricina, as he'll get to the finish in front of Cole Long. So 4 guys all at the same time and coming in with pace to that finishing chute.
Paul Smith College racer Griffin Smith out for his second lap of the day. Next for him is owning a wood boat. Very cool.
Doesn't get much more Paul Smiths than
absolutely
planning on owning a wood boat in your future.
Not. Paul Smith College, if you're a high schooler out there and you love marathon canoeing, living in the woods, going to culinary school, being part of a national championship ski team, I'd recommend Paul Smith College.
That's half of those things were your list of future goals. You're
absolutely
a woodsman
absolutely.
at nature.
Well, I'll talk to Matt Doherty after this, and maybe I can get a job.
Heading on to lap number 2, and looking good coming through is Chen Yao Zhang.
Another battle going up the A climb, being led by 164 Xiaoyang, otherwise known as Leo, part of Snow, Wyoming, and the University of Wyoming squad.
Those guys will all be coming in around the same time, and a Clarkson University guy right behind him in the 168 bib, Torsten C. Brickley. Some updated results here as we have a temporary top 10 for the guys that have, or the women that have come across rather, and it's the team results.
We have some team results for the Wyoming for the race today. In first place, we currently have St. Olaf's College with 15 points. In second place, we have the University of Wyoming with 25 points and Paul Smith College with 30 points. Reminder, all those watching, the lower the points, the better. The way the USCSA works is that if you get 5th place, you get 5 points, 10th place, you get 10 points, 20th place, you get 20 points. Top 3 racers score within the results. You tally all those together to get a result. So that's our top 3 at the end of the day. Our women's teams are St. Olaf College, University of Wyoming, and Paul Smith College. Followed up, 4th through 14th are University of Wisconsin, University of Minnesota, Cornell University, Western Colorado University, University of Maine at Farmington, Colorado Mesa University, Clarkson University, Colorado State University, the United States Military Academy, the United States Air Force Academy, and the University of Minnesota Duluth. That is our team standings for the women's 7.5K interval start.
I wish academics was a little bit more like Nordic skiing and low points won.
Absolutely. Then we would finally
you and I would be
good
that would be where our definition of academic weapon would come in. But
absolutely.
That's never been a pair of words used to describe me in the school setting. Maybe we'll get there.
We have some results for the women's 7.5K freestyle start. Our top 10 here, respectively, 1 through 10, are Lily Hubanks, St. Olaf College, Dulcie Taniguay, Paul Smith College, Amelia Cam McGruger, St. Olaf College, Annie Miller, University of Wyoming, Sammy Vauthier, University of Wyoming, Katie Milligan Susong, University of Wisconsin-Madison, Hadley Jensen, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, Ayla Bodach Turner, University of Maine Farmington, Maddie Rosenberg, Western Colorado University, and Jessie Church, Paul Smith College. Remember, stay tuned for at underdogtiming.com for results, as well as start lists for the rest of the week.
Cornell's Jeff Hodgson across the line wearing the shiny yellows. Jeff is planning after the season to get back to his elite level training at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Very cool, very cool. Sean Kramer working up the A-climb for his second time from the University of Wyoming. Now, if you're on course and you're spectating today, you're going to start seeing a lot of the women's skiers, now that they're done, as well as the men, out on course again without bibs. Casey, what are they doing out there?
Well, they're working a lot harder than I am, I can tell you that, John.
Yeah, a lot of these athletes will be cooling down after the race. They're making sure to flush the lactic acid here at low altitude. We're going to build a lot more lactic acid than you would out west, so they need to make sure they start that recovery process for tomorrow's sprints. Stay tuned tomorrow as we watch our classic sprints around the race course, as well as the rest of the week and many of our other programs and USCSA live streams. We have alpine, free ski, snowboard cross, ski cross, and probably many more that I can't even remember.
Paul Smith across the line, and another strong finish here is the back end of the men's field coming through the stadium one last time. Austin Manning and Reed Robinson for Cornell, looking to finish up their days.
Also, just a reminder that this national championship race today is brought to you by Celsius Energy Drink, our main and title sponsor for the end of the for our national competition. So head to your local Circle K, Stewart's, whatever it is, and grab yourself a nice, refreshing, energized drink as Jamison Peacock puts in the effort in his second lap.
Celsius, one of my favorite ways to get the morning started. If you want to feel like the Hulk,
yeah, they got
Celsius Energy.
A lot of flavors, a lot of tropical fruit, a lot of citrus fruit. So if you're into that sort of thing, check it out. You'll see at the end of the race course, it's chaos out there. It looks like they're falling like flies. Casey, what's going on here?
Just dedication to the sport. That's absolutely laying your body on the line, John. Something you were much better at doing than I was over our USCSA careers. And to be a national champion, you got to give it 155% that your body's got. And that's what we're seeing out here through the finish line as these guys are coming to the close of their day, and a couple more that have one lap to go.
Yeah, these guys land across the line, that's an absolute exhaustion. But they got to be careful. Can't spend too much time on that cold snow, otherwise it's going to ruin your recovery process. So I know you're tired, but you got to get up.
That was always my go-to, was a good 5-minute nap in the snow, and usually followed by very limited cool down. So 2 ways to approach it, and if you want to be a national champion like my counterpart, probably better to go with his strategy than mine.
Yeah, make sure that all these athletes, they're early to bedders. They sleep is the #1 predictor of recovery. Sleep, nothing helps you recover. Nothing helps you prepare for the next day of racing. So, like sleep does. So, when everyone else is out of the bars tonight by 8 p.m., all these Nordic athletes will be in bed, tucked away, and dreaming about a national championship.
Adam Jansen ripping it to the top of the climb and coming through the chute here to the finish. John Lackey with a head of steam.
At the University of Vermont up there in Burlington in northwest Vermont next to Lake Champlain. Beautiful campus.
Also at the top of the hill, Parker Harris from Colorado Mesa.
Really working hard. You can see the exhaustion that Nordic skiing can bring. Getting a feed from his coach. You're going to see that a lot more often in the 15-kilometer race. A lot of the athletes are going to take a feed in that exact same area. Just kind of refuel a couple of sugars, a couple of carbohydrates, so you can just give them that extra little juice for the rest of the race.
Tyler Hipshin across the line, an Alaska guy, and just about as far away from home as you can get, the other side of the globe completely.
Absolutely. Tyler Hipshin, one to watch out for tomorrow in the sprint race. Last year at Mammoth, he won the B final, so he's got the tactics, he's got the speed, he's got the height. So watch out for him in the classic sprint tomorrow, because he definitely has his eyes on that one.
Ben Anderson also across the finish as we get serenaded by the orchestra of 300 violins.
Yeah, typically a hockey song, but I think it's better suited for cross-country skiing, a much more rigorous and difficult sport, as well as more spectator-friendly.
Cornell's Gabriel Gary up to the top of the climb.
That's an excellent V1 technique. Anyone out watching there want to know what a good V1 technique looks like, take a look at that. Some nice strong technique even in these tough conditions.
Chen Yu Zheng, 1 lap to go as he comes through the USCSA blow up one more time.
Yeah. He'll be out there. There's a lot of Wyoming skiers out there, so I'm sure he'll be encouraged by the effort of his teammates, and his teammates will be out there cheering him on and make sure he has a strong finish. Great job. I believe this is his first year skiing ever, so to go from that to a national championship race and skiing this well is pretty amazing.
Big wipeout down in the wet spot of the stadium as Zachary Johnson looks to have lost part of his skis.
Sean Kramer coming in from the University of Wyoming into the finish zone. He's looking in to have a nice strong finish. He's in the last 30 seconds of his race, so he's got to give it all he's got to make it to the line.
Noah Payne following him in around the 180 horseshoe down there. And
Yeah.
Johnson on broken equipment, trying anything he can do to finish up his day here.
Yeah, if I could use one word to describe these athletes, it would be grit. It doesn't matter if you break a ski, break a pole, or even possibly break an arm. These skiers are determined to make it to the line.
Lee Tien Bai, 5th year out of Wyoming, 1 lap to go. And coming across the line to finish his day, Peter Marriott of the United States Air Force. There's Noah coming in right behind him, Noah Payne of Clarkson University. Also being chased down by Sean Kramer, putting in the effort V2.
Across the line. .163, a solid effort by the Western Colorado University up the A climb. Is that AJ?
That's AJ Mila.
AJ Mila coming across the line. AJ has had some strong finishes for Western Colorado University. they have a strong team. They are the returning national champions for the men's this year, so I would keep an eye on all their skiers because they are deep.
St. Olaf College, Trey Bosworth crossed the line to finish his day. And following closely behind him was Zachary Johnson, able to recover from the broken equipment and finish the race. Good job, Zachary.
Minnesota skier working his way up the hill, also using that V1 technique. There's a couple different styles in cross-country skiing, V1, V2, and V2 alternate. As Jamison Peacock comes across the line demonstrating V2, strong finish from Jamison Peacock.
Champion of the Silly Goose Convention.
Frequent attender.
Guy who signed his card, the equivalent of his Costco card to the Silly Goose Convention, right next to me, John Henry.
Yep. 151 coming into the line. That is
James A.
James A. Baker. We've seen him a couple times. Great job, James, as he crosses the line.
Some updates on the current standings of the men's race right now. Aiden Ripp still holding a 44-second lead over Igor Sarseth out of Colorado Mason. Lucas Daly edged out Connor Roberts with a great effort from the 114 bib, and Connor Roberts sitting in 4th place. Right behind him, Connor Nielsen in the number 5 spot. Then it's a pair of Kais. Kai Richter from Clarkson University up in 6th. Kai Taylor right behind him from the University of Wyoming. 8, 9, 10 are Benjamin Bauer, Joey Ruhana, and Wesley Sumner. And John, I can't help but notice a trio of Clarkson Golden Knights in that top 10 there.
That's true. Torin La Liberty has been working hard to build a men's team that is capable of taking down Paul Smith College and Western Colorado University. And he might have that this week. There's a lot of Golden Knights up on top of the results sheet today. As an alumni, how do you feel about that?
I'm feeling real good. Very proud of my guys. And Connor Roberts, a guy who, the only one left that skied alongside me for my 1 year of USCSA competition.
I believe he is originally from Rochester, New York, and a product of the Rochester Nordic Racing program. They pipeline skiers in the USCSA and frequently top the podium. Connor Roberts comes from HFL, am I wrong? Honeoye Falls?
That is correct. Honeoye Falls, and a couple of other Honeoye Falls members have been top-notch USCSA athletes. You were alongside one of them for a couple of those championships, Dave Harvey.
Dave Harvey, Devin Perry, HFL alumni, and USCSA national contender veterans. But I know Connor Roberts, he's had his eye on these championships for a long time. He's put together the 7.5, he's put together 15, he's putting together the sprint, and I think this year might be the year. I know he's been working on that overall. He's had the patience. He's put in the time. His teammates make fun of him for training too much. I know that for a fact. And I think this year it's going to pay off.
The Wangler triplets, another couple of top-notch Nordic skiing athletes. Bridget Wangler, a Clarkson University alum that won a national championship on the women's side, and sister Gabby skied for St. Lawrence. Coming across the finish now is Gabriel Gary out of Cornell University, and a strong finish for him.
And a nice strawberry skeeta headband. 170, this was our last starter, Paul Smith College. This is our man worried about the financial ruin of the economy and student debt. Hopefully with the education that he's accumulated over the past 4 years at Paul Smith College, he'll be able to find a profession that will help him pay those off.
That might be one of the fastest guys we've seen come up this climb since those leaders. That's Jacob Alberga from Paul Smith, the guy who hopefully gets off his debt soon. Jacob Alberga. We'll have to wait and see how he fares, though, putting in a real good effort up that final climb.
Yeah, he's putting in a really strong effort for some of these guys. Spencer Kanan chasing him down. But, yeah, 170, Paul Smith College racer. That was Jacob. I would watch the results and look for upsets as another strong finisher, bib 160, comes into the line. That's Eli Smith. Jacob is a Saranac Lake local, so he knows the course. He is That's why he's going so fast. He's been skiing this course since he was a wee lad.
So when you see Jacob come ripping into the stadium here, a couple of reasons to cheer for him. He's got the local passion behind him, but also cheer him on so he has something to look forward to a little more than his student debt.
Come on, Jacob, be an optimist. A technique like that, you can't be sad.
160 across the line. Eli Smith looking good. 65 chasing him down. That's Chen Yu Zhang.
From the University of Wyoming Shanghai University Sport Partnership Team.
Another finisher coming in. Finalizing his day, AJ Mila, Western Colorado.
AJ across the line, Western Colorado University. He's part of that Western Colorado University defending national championship team. He had a great couple of races out in Mammoth, California last year, and we hope to see some great results out of him again this year. Great job, AJ, as he pushes across the line. 164, another University of Wyoming skier is working his way up the hill.
Coming across the line to finish it off. 139.
AJ, as he crossed the line, is also the lead singer and lead guitarist for the band Clister, available on Spotify. This is his hit single, Merriment Mall. Please take a listen. Listen to AJ as made it on my Spotify rap list, so hopefully it'll make yours next year. Let's just take a moment and enjoy.
Sounding good, AJ.
One by one, the stores they would close, and one by one, the vendors would go, and now there's nothing left. Welcome to the Mariner Mall. You can come in, but there's nothing there at all. Welcome to a place that was once beautiful.
Torsten C looking good, rocking the CU as Torsten comes across.
It used to hold many stores, but now it's a ghost town. It used to be so adored, but everything's closed now.
You know, John, for the band named Clister, they've got a much more soothing tone than their name might say.
Absolutely. He's from the Midwest and familiar with Clister. I believe that's where the inspiration of the band came from skiing. And tomorrow, our next race, the Classic Sprint, is definitely going to be utilizing Clister.
Same with that 15K coming up on Friday. And
Absolutely.
I pity the coaches that are going to have to cover their mitts with that sticky goo.
Absolutely. If you're unfamiliar with the substance, it's out of a toothpaste tube, but you wouldn't want to brush your teeth with it because it's probably the stickiest thing known to man. Often if you use an iron to iron it or a cork to cork it in, those products end up becoming the Clister cork, the Clister iron in. Can't be used for anything else ever again in their entire lives. Clister jacket, Clister gloves, Clister hands. And these coaches will be knee deep in it for the rest of the day.
Coming down to the final finishers here. As across the line, Peter DeRuiter from Minnesota. Good job, Peter. Might be time to switch up the mood here, John.
Absolutely.
Nothing says good vibes like Kelly Clarkson.
Here's the thing, we started up friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend.
166 coming into the finish. That's Oliver from Clarkson University. Another strong Clarkson finish.
Oh, quick switch off of Kelly Clarkson. Hang on, let's get back there. It's getting
We're back.
Getting pretty
our
close.
Apologies. Our apologies.
Nailed it. Getting pretty close to the karaoke segment here.
That's a Cornell University skier coming in strong. That's bib 162, Austin Mammon. An Ivy League student crossing the line, showing that they're not just brain, but they're also brawn. I'm sure this is how the Lake Placid locals feel about the USCSA National Championship.
Celebrating that the championships are back in Lake Placid since the last time they've been gone. John, as we look forward tomorrow, the sprint and the classic sprint, differences from today in the course conditions. What are your expectations out of tomorrow's race?
I think that we're going to see similar conditions all week. It's going to start in the morning with some pretty icy stuff. But then as the day goes on and the sun comes out, it's going to become soft, and they're going to have to deal with these potatoes as our favorite athlete today,
bummer.
Jacob. Oh, Jacob. Looks like he's going into more debt as he's going to have to buy a pair of bowls. Must have taken a digger out there for something. Everyone give a strong hand for Jacob for the grit that he has to finish the race with broken equipment. The Swix rep is out there. I don't need a pole. He does.
And maybe give him a deal so he doesn't have to worry about the rapidly increasing student loan debt.
Yeah. Our hearts go out to Jacob. Saranac Lake local.
Good job on the finish, though, and a bummer that it came down to that. He was our favorite in the later portion as we saw him come up the B climb.
Now, we are grateful to be at the Mount Hovenberg Olympic Complex. They built this for the FISU World University Games back in 2023. But as a result, we get to utilize these great facilities. Lake Placid, home of the 1932 and 1980 Winter Olympics. Stay tuned this entire week as we'll be here all week for Nordic, Alpine, free skiing, and snowboard events. Another huge thank you to all the volunteers today that have been able to put on this race. This race would not be possible without all the parents, all the coaches, and all the volunteers that have nothing to do with this, but came out here and gave up their time to allow us to be here and have fun today.
Big thank you to Kelly Clarkson for that emotional boost of serotonin.
We have 8 more men left, so make sure we cheer them on as they come on in.
Quick one coming up the chute now. Reed Robinson of Cornell finishing his day.
Strong.
Check out those
Reed.
braids.
Look at that.
That's a head of hair. Looking good, Reed. Nothing makes the mood go higher than ABBA.
If this isn't ski music, then I don't know what is.
5 more to go after Reed has crossed the line. Closing down on day 1 of the USCSA National Championships.
Casey Ditzel, is this a remix?
This is a remix, yeah.
It's a good remix.
Take a look at the current results right now. Again, it's Aiden Rip on top, a 44-second lead over Evers Scarseth. Lucas Daly, then Connor Roberts, Connor Nielsen closing out the top 5. 6th place and 7th place, Kai and Kai. It's Kai Richter, then Kai Taylor. 8th is Benjamin Bauer. 9th, Joey Ruhana. 10th place, Wesley Sumner. 11th, Ben Martin. Timothy Zegler. And then Tate Myers, Rylin Hobson, Albert Hess, Tyler Hipshin, Diego Scalici, Grady Welch, Philip Matthews, and Connor Preston, rounding out your top 20 on day 1. Still a couple with chances to catch up, and nice finisher freshly across believe that's Chen Yu Jiang.
165. Yeah, that's Chen Yu Jiang. Great job.
Wyoming guys closing out our day here strong.
Remember, check underdog timing for all results and start lists at the end of the day.
What a view we've got here from the Lake Placid facility in the Van Hogenberg complex.
Another Wyoming skier wrapping up his day. And 164, another Wyoming skier coming to the finish line. That is
Xiaoyang Leo.
Xiaoyang Leo. Beichong Ha Leo.
Nice finish there. I'm loving the boot shoots.
Yeah, that's in an interval start. You don't know where you could end up. Just because you crossed the line by yourself doesn't mean that you're by yourself on the results sheet. That boot shoot could be 1, 2, 3 places, a tenth of a second. Many people have lost races and won by tenths of a second.
Join us tomorrow for the freestyle sprint race. Start with the classic sprint race, excuse me. Start with the classic qualifier, and then we'll break it down to the heats. And the man right next to me, well versed in the sprint discipline.
That's right. That's right. That was always my favorite event of the week, and I think it's the most spectator friendly. So if you're out there and you're planning on watching only one of the races this week, I think this would be the one. It's exciting, it's riveting, it's head-to-head racing. There's going to be crashes, there's going to be heartache, there's going to be triumph, there's going to be sorrow. It's going to be a hell of a day tomorrow.
Just waiting for the closing finishers here, and down to now 4 racers remaining on the Lake Placid course.
Now, Casey, if it were you today, wrapping a race and needing to sprint tomorrow, what would you be doing? How would you be prepping for the day?
Well, I can tell you, I'd be out on the course for a good chunk of time more here, so I'd probably have another 30 minutes before I'd even think about tomorrow, and then I'd lay in the snow for a little while. Coaches usually force me to do the warm-up routine against my will. I was more of a go sit in the car and eat donuts kind of fan, but probably go get a quick lap in of warm down and then go home and just wait for the next day. I'd get a good dinner in. That's going to be very important.
Absolutely.
And
fuel for tomorrow.
Probably wouldn't be able to sleep too well ahead of the sprint because I'm always excited. Maybe eat some melatonin and have some crazy dreams at night about chasing you up the hill.
On camera, Andrew Siegel, our overall national champion and sprint champion last year from the University of Wyoming. Andrew Siegel is now coaching for the University of Wyoming.
Former star of the Devouring the Terrain vlog series, Andrew Siegel.
Hosted by my co-host here, Casey Dixon. Andrew Siegel, now a coach. He's going to be testing waxes, glide, and kick immediately starting this race, trying to make sure that he's giving his athletes the best opportunity that they can for tomorrow's race.
Li Tian Bai looking amazing coming through the chute, picking up some steam across the finish line. Good job, Li Tian.
And how, Li Tian.
Had some rumors that the Devouring the Terrain vlog series might be returning this week.
I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Stay tuned at Casey Ditzel on YouTube.
Missing the star performer, though, and Megan Green not making the trip up this year.
Former national champion herself in this discipline, the 7.5 kilometer. I wonder how many alumni of the USCSA are tuning in to continue watching racers rip around the course. At least I know we are.
And we'll be here all week, so make sure to come back and join us tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday.
These USCSA National Championship are brought to you by Celsius. Again, Celsius is our title sponsor for this year's National Championships, and we cannot thank them enough for the support that they give us in hosting these events and helping our dreams come true as our athletes race this entire week.
USCSA signed Dancing to the Beat.
Yeah.
Power your day with Celsius. Go to Walmart, Stewart's, or wherever else the product is sold.
I'm sure you go
Pick
to
up the fruit
Celsius.com.
variety pack.
I'm sure they own that domain. Check out their product.
Final racers coming down, and we're getting the final results here.
Let's go over some men's teams results. Look at this. As an alumni, you must be proud. We talked about Torn La Liberty's program, and boy, oh boy, do we have a day today. Clarkson University sits in first place at the top of the team standings with 16 points. Look at that.
Hang on. Before we announce any more, give me 1 moment.
Torrin's been working hard.
This one goes out to Torrin here. Unfortunately, I have to end up some Lemonade Mouth, a great song, but in honor of my former team on top of the leaderboard.
Congratulations, Clarkson University.
Let's go, Tuck. Let's go, Tuck. Let's go, Tuck.
Their 7.5K national championship team victory. Now let's go over some of the other results. Remember that this is not the end of racing for the weekend. This is they are the 7.5K champions, but they are not the overall champions yet. They still have to get through 3 more days of racing. And hot on their tails are Paul Smith's College in the hunt and hungry for a second national title. Rounding out the podium is Western Colorado University, our defending champions. I'm sure they're going to be happy with today's result, but won't be pleased until they're standing at the #1 spot again. 4th place, St. Olaf College, followed by 5th place, Cowboys University of Wyoming. Go Pokes! 6th place, Colorado Mesa University, followed by the Ivy League All-Stars, Cornell University, then the University of Minnesota Duluth, University of Wisconsin-Madison, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, round out 8, 9, and 10, and then the United States Air Force Academy is 11th, Colorado State University is 12th, and Vermont State University, Castleton University, Antonio Menino, the team of one, the trooper, the coach, the wax tech, is rounding out our team standing in 13th. He'll be proud. He should be proud of the effort that he has put in today. Antonio Menino, probably an all-star, one of the most popular men in all of USCSA. But my name's John Henry, and I'm joined by my co-host, Casey Ditzel.
Great day of racing that we watched out there, John. And what are some of the storylines? Obviously, Clarkson, not the favorite coming in, but they sit on the top. And some things that impressed you out there today.
I don't want to say upset. Don't call it a comeback. But Clarkson really impressed me today. I didn't have them necessarily pegged as our #1 today, but they're always going to be contenders, and they came out on top. Impressed with their men's and their women's results. Obviously, a storyline we followed was Jacob from Paul Smith's College. I know Matthew Doherty will be proud with his men's and women's team results, as well as University of Wyoming and St. Olaf College. They really ski fast today.
We look forward tomorrow to the sprint race. As we prepare for that, what are some things that you're anticipating there?
I think it's going to be an upset. It's going to really mix the results around from today. Don't think that ski racing the same day to day as a lot of skiers get really excited or really get nervous about sprints. So it really divides the competition, and anything can happen to sprint, and that's the beauty of it.
That does it for today's competition, and congratulations to all the athletes out there. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Some competition still going on, the Alpine and snowboard, so if you haven't had enough, tune in to those on the USCSA website. But for us, that does it until tomorrow. Again, Make sure to check out the gold sponsor and Celsius. Go power your day today and pick up a Celsius on your way to Mount Van Hovenberg here. But for John Henry Palushik, I'm Casey Ditzel, and have a great rest of your day until tomorrow morning when we come back for the Classic Sprints.